Have you ever felt so invisible that even God seems far away? Have you ever laid down at night with an empty stomach, staring into the dark, wondering if your prayers disappear before they ever reach heaven? Sometimes life becomes so quiet, so heavy, that it feels as if the world has forgotten your name. But what if I told you that the moment you feel most alone is often the exact moment a test and a chance is walking right beside you? Stay with this story until the end. A single choice made on a lonely path will change a boy's life forever and reveal a quiet truth about kindness, faith, and how God answers the hearts no one else sees. In a peaceful countryside village, surrounded by wide fields and long stretches of dirt road, lived a boy named Ethan. The village was small, the kind of place where everyone knew each other's business, yet somehow still failed to notice the quiet suffering of a single child. Ethan's house stood at the very edge of the village, where the farmland faded into tall grass and silence. It was a fragile wooden shack, pieced together with cracked planks and patched sheets of rusted tin. When the wind rolled in from the fields, the house groaned like it was tired of standing. When rain fell, drops slipped through the roof and pooled on the dirt floor. Still, Ethan called it home, because it was all he had. He had once been part of a family. His father had worked the fields, his hands strong and weathered. His mother had kept warmth alive in that little house, humming softly as she cooked, praying quietly at night. But sickness came without warning. First his father, then his mother. The funerals were brief, spoken words carried away by wind and obligation. Life moved on. Ethan stayed behind. At an age when other children were guided and protected, Ethan learned to survive. He worked wherever someone would take him, carrying water, chopping wood, helping farmers during harvest. Some days he earned a few coins. Other days, only a bowl of thin soup handed to him without a word. Hunger stopped being an emergency and became a routine. Loneliness became normal. Silence became loud. But his mother had left him something more powerful than food or shelter. In her last healthy years, when meals were small and worry was large, she would divide what little they had and say, "Ethan, when you have little, give a little. Don't let hardship harden your heart. Generosity keeps the heart alive. Even the smallest gift, given with love, is never wasted." Those words stayed with him. When his stomach twisted from hunger, he remembered her voice. When bitterness tried to settle in his chest, he remembered her smile. He carried that lesson like a warm stone in his pocket, small but comforting. One evening, after a long day of labor beneath a merciless sun, Ethan walked home with a small cloth sack tucked under his arm. Inside was bread and a little rice, enough for one simple meal. His hands ached, his legs felt heavy, but there was relief in his steps. Tonight, he would eat. He chose the river path home, even though it was longer. The shade of the trees and the steady sound of flowing water gave his tired mind a place to rest. As he walked, he whispered a quiet prayer, not asking for wealth or an easier life, but simply for strength to remain kind in a world that rarely was. Halfway along the path, he noticed a figure ahead. An old man sat on a flat stone near the water, leaning heavily on a wooden staff. His clothes were covered in dust. His shoulders slumped as if the road itself had weighed him down. His face bore the kind of wear only long journeys leave behind. As Ethan passed, the man lifted his head. "Young man," he said softly, "I have not eaten today. I have walked far, and my legs are failing me. If you have even a small bite to spare, I would be grateful." Ethan stopped. His fingers tightened around the sack. That food was his dinner. Without it, he would sleep hungry. The easiest choice was to apologize and move on. No one would blame him. No one would even know. But inside his chest, another voice stirred. "When you have little, give a little. Ethan felt the familiar ache, the battle between survival and kindness. Slowly, he knelt, opened the sack, and removed the best piece of bread. He wiped it clean with his sleeve and held it out. "Please," he said quietly. "Eat first." The old man accepted it with trembling hands. He ate slowly, carefully, as if each bite mattered more than hunger alone. Ethan stayed, offering him water, helping him stand when his knees shook. They spoke for a while. The old man asked about Ethan's life. Ethan answered honestly, about losing his parents, about working just to eat, about trying not to let the world make him bitter. The old man listened without interruption, his eyes thoughtful and calm. When he was strong enough to leave, he stood and placed a gentle hand on Ethan's shoulder. "You have a good heart," the man said. "Do not let this world make it small." Then he turned and walked down the path, disappearing between the trees. That night, Ethan ate what little remained and slept with a rare feeling, not full, but peaceful. At dawn, the quiet village woke to unfamiliar sounds. Horse hooves clattered against stone. Voices murmured urgently. Church bells rang without warning. Ethan stepped outside and froze. In the village square stood a grand carriage, polished, guarded, unmistakable. Men dressed in fine clothing moved among the villagers. A herald raised his staff and called aloud, "By order of His Majesty the King, a child named Ethan is requested. Come forward." Fear flooded Ethan's chest. Slowly, he obeyed. The carriage door opened. The old man from the river stepped out, but no longer bent or weary. He wore robes trimmed with gold. A simple circlet rested upon his head. The fatigue was gone, replaced with quiet authority. "You offered bread when you had almost nothing," the king said, his voice steady. "I travel in disguise to learn the true hearts of my people. Kindness given without hope of reward is rarer than treasure." The village fell silent. "I have no child to inherit my duties," the king continued, "and I seek not wealth, but character. You will come with me. You will learn. And what you receive, you will one day give forward." Ethan's life changed in that moment, but not his heart. Years passed. Ethan studied, trained, and learned not just leadership, but service. He listened to workers, protected the forgotten, and remembered hunger whenever decisions were made. He never forgot the lonely path by the river, the moment when kindness cost him something. And God, who did not come with thunder or fire, had answered through a quiet test. God often speaks in moments, not miracles. In encounters, not announcements. In choices made when no one is watching. So if you feel unseen today, remember this. What you do in the quiet places matters. Sometimes the one asking for help is part of your test. And sometimes that test is the doorway to a future you never imagined. If you are walking a lonely path, keep your heart open. You may be closer than you think to the moment that changes everything.